Hello, hello, and welcome to Healthy Life with Kimmy. I am here with Jeffrey.
Hey, everybody.
Hey guys, we thought we would go live. Welcome, welcome. Hey Lynette, how are you? Thank you for joining us. We thought we would go live tonight just to have a little conversation. I think we'll be doing a lot more of these because I was like, people like to talk about what's going on in their diet world, also in their weight loss journey. And we want to be a resource, so you don't feel alone. A lot of people don't have anybody to talk to, or like I'm a member of Weight Watchers. People can't afford nowadays to pay for that. So sometimes I'll take tips that I learned from them, plus my own life experience, mine and Jeffrey, and then we just chat it up a little bit. So let's do that tonight. Today we're talking about why do we sabotage our diets? Why? Why? What happens in our mind? We'll give YouTube a few minutes to notify people that we are on because it usually takes a little while. Welcome to everyone that's joining us, those who will catch the replay. And again, Jeffrey and I are on a weight loss journey. Just a little bit about myself, and then Jeffrey can tell you about himself. I'm Kimmy. I am on a weight loss journey, and I'm calling it a journey because it's taking me a while to get there. But I am enjoying myself. And doing pretty well. I'm just looking at myself here on this live in the video. Now I get on the scale tomorrow. I'm hoping it reflects how I feel on the inside. The scale can be the devil, but I'm doing good. I'm continuing to make better choices. I'm walking faster. My normal things that I say that I'm benefiting myself, having a little more clarity. Now I don't know. Sometimes I feel loopy. I think that's age though. But what's going on with you in your journey, Jeffrey? How did you start? Who are you? What's up? What's up? Jeffrey's my husband, for those of you who don't know. I will let him talk in just a second. I started back in March. It'll be a year this month. And he started his journey in October. He can tell you all about himself.
So I am Jeff, as Kim mentioned. I have that term in my okay. So my name's Jeff, and Kim started on her adjustment in her life and making changes last March of 2023, and I was kind of I was there with her, but didn't really get in taking it serious until uh, October of last year. And I will say, for me, this has become more of a direct, focused um, uh, mission/journey. And I'm on the journey. I'm seeing what's out there. I'm learning about myself and what to do. But my mission is to I want to lose X amount of pounds, and also not just about losing the weight, but about improving my health. So that mission, I have reached part of that mission. I mentioned it to Kim. I just thought about it before we went live. I got to make some adjustments on my Weight Watchers app, um, because I had it set for. I was trying to do my goals in increments, because in my mind, if I had it like some big number, then I'll be like, oh my goodness, it's so long to get there. But I've reached that one goal, and it was something realistic. So I'm at 35 pounds. So that's where I'm at, and
Get
now
it,
I'm going to go.
Jeffrey. Get
Yeah.
it.
So I need to change that while we're talking, before I forget. But anyway, I need to change that because that's my next step, and because of Kim and others, like I mentioned, my mom. Me and Kim talked about it. My mom and all the things that she's gone through and going through, and with all of that, and the same thing for Kim, the things that she's going through and has gone through, making those changes, and it's a process. But for me, I'm on a mission that I'm going to do. I'm going to lose this. I can't go back. I don't want to get too far into it because we're going to talk about some other stuff, but I just had to get my suits taken. I just got my suits back. So I think the guy, I don't know if you noticed him when we were leaving out.
Mm-hmm.
If I heard what he said right, he said he got it just right, so that if I knew, he said he made it, he adjusted my suit, because I took 4 suits in, folks, to get adjusted, because I was kind of, my pants was looking like Jared from what's his name,
Subway.
Subway. It was looking bad. I said I can't do this because I wear suspenders, So I had to change that up. So I had to. This is looking crazy. So I took it in last week to get taken in. After the next, he said I won't be able to take it in again. I'm gonna have to get another different size suits
The
because I've
guy
been done two.
that did the alterations for Jeffrey,
Yes.
he was saying that he makes the suits kind of tight because he wants men to realize that once that suit is, kind of snug, that you've gained some weight. So he leaves little
You,
bit.
did he tell you that before I
Yeah,
come
we were
back out?
talking. Yeah, we were talking.
Oh,
So
okay, okay.
he
So, okay.
purposely makes men's suits when he does their alterations a little snug just to fit, because that way you know exactly when you've gained a little bit of weight. Because when you have on something big, you got them stretch pants that you wear when you go into the Golden Corral or to a buffet. You got them comfortable pants you want to wear so your stomach can expand, or you going out for something bad and you got those kind of clothes on. So he trying to help the men, he said.
Well, he's doing it because when I put it on there, I said, I mean, he got it just right, but in my head, it's funny that you said it because you all were out there talking. Because I was going back I went to get the suits. He gave me the suits, so I'm going in and changing. I'm coming back and showing Kim and the guy, and as I'm putting it on, I said, it's right on there. So as far as the waist part, because of the way I wear my pants, I said I ain't got no room to play. But then that's what he said. So I didn't know that you all were talking about that. So
Yeah, he said he does that, and he probably did yours extra tight because he knew you lost some weight.
Yeah, well, it wasn't extra tight. It was there, but it was right there on it though, because I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to. So he is it's forcing you to say, look, don't go back, and which I've been saying, I'm not going back.
Yeah,
I'm not going back. So yeah.
Well, let's get to topic. Sometimes he doesn't want to join me, and then when he gets here, I can't get him to be quiet. So let's.
Oh, you see that, folks? You see that? You see that? You see it's here.
So welcome
now,
to everyone.
Then if I don't say nothing, then she'll say, what do you have to add, Jeff? Okay, all right. I'm gonna try to curtail myself because I can get it going.
We want to say welcome.
I'm gonna show y'all tonight. I'll show you. I know how to keep it. I know how to.
So we want to say welcome to everyone that's here and those who will watch the replay and those who will eventually hear the podcast. Okay. So we're going to get right into it. So we have a couple of different topics we wrote down as to why we actually sabotage our own diets. The first one is an unrealistic expectation of what the diet is going to do. Sometimes we want to lose, we make too many changes too fast, and then we end up getting frustrated, or we need time just to allow the diet to work and to see the results that we want. So how about you all? How do you feel about unrealistic expectations? And when Jeffrey and I were talking about this, I had told him when I started my journey, I didn't actually have an expectation. So it's kind of weird. He was like, well, you didn't have an expectation. And I was like, no. So I didn't say like, I want to lose 50 pounds. I just always know how much I'm overweight. So that for me was the target. But I like how he's doing it in smaller increments. So maybe that would help me too. If I set a goal of, maybe 10 pounds instead of saying, well, I need to lose a whole 100. So maybe that's why sometimes I may kind of back off a little bit. I'm like, is that really a realistic expectation? Like in my mind, am I really going to lose a whole 100 pounds? But then too, I've lost 25. So who knows? I'm pretty sure I can. Other people have done it. So it's not anything like completely new, but it is hard, so I think having an unrealistic expectation though sometimes would be like, you know what, just forget it. I'm not going to reach that goal. Or not even having a goal. So like they say, if you don't have something to aim for, you, what is it? How does it go? If you don't, some kind of way, if you don't like, well, that's kind of a little bit different. If you don't fall for something, you fall for anything. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. It's kind of similar with weight though. If we don't have an expectation, then, you kind of just wean off of it or wane off of it. It's like, whatever, So I did not have an expectation. So what about you? Do you have an expectation or goal that you set for yourself on your journey? Are you even on a journey? That might be the goal, to start doing something. Okay. The next one, while we wait for Jeffrey to return, is boredom. Is another reason people sabotage their diets. They just frankly get bored with eating the same things, the same food groups, trying to lose weight. Like if you're doing low carbs, well, I can't have no bread, I can't have this. So then you just give up. You just like, forget it. So for me, I don't mind repetition in my breakfast or my lunch. Dinner is the hardest meal of the day for me. I can eat the same thing every day for breakfast, no problem. Even lunch, I don't mind. But dinner is hard because I'm just not the best cook. You guys see me cooking a few things. So y'all might say, well, Kim, you do cook. And I do cook a little bit, but it's not like I really enjoy my cooking. I'm working on it. As you can see, as I'm taking you on my little journey and I do little cooking segments. I'm learning how to season better. And that's one thing I have learned on my journey is don't be afraid of seasonings. I used to be like, oh, that's too much garlic powder or that's too much paprika or whatever. No, it's not. Just season that thing, and it can't be too much. So when you get bored, then that may be a reason you just say again, forget it and kind of sabotage what you might have accomplished 50 pounds and you get bored with the plan or bored with the food choices and you like forget it. So is that something that you have experienced while you've been dieting, Jeffrey? Boredom with having to eat certain, well, we don't really eat certain food groups. We're not really limited, but do you experience any boredom sometimes?
Sorry, but I had to get off, but I just got back on, just reconnected. So you're talking about being bored with certain types of foods? Is that what you're talking?
Yeah, while you've been on your journey, have you experienced any type of boredom? Like it's like I don't want to eat this no more. I'm sick of eating the same thing, or because I know you eat an egg every day.
Yeah, I kind of do. Sometimes I kind of flip it up. I may do like I like to do boiled eggs, and I'll make several of them, which I got to make some later on this evening, and I'll do that in the evening as far as protein and what have you. So sometimes I may do. I try to flip it up and do maybe some vegetable or something like some celery sticks or something in the evening. So I don't get bored like it's like horrible bored, but I just want to try to change it up a little bit. So if you do that, then it kind of gives you a little bit of sense of variety. Otherwise, it kind of winds up like something on a sci-fi channel where you just watch eating the same thing day in and day out. So that can also play a role in how you progress. You may reach a certain point, and after, like Kim said, if you get bored, then you just say, I just, next thing you know, you're looking for a ho-ho or a Twinkie, and and then you go down, you're going down a rabbit hole, and it's over with, So,
And I did that before. I'm like, I just want something different. I just want something different.
well, I'll say this. I'm gonna say this. I just was the other day. If you do like we do Weight Watchers, and you can see the points. If you we well not only we do Weight Watchers, but we watch different folks on YouTube, just not just your reputable folks like this Dr. Bobby Price. That may be something for you all to think about. Check into some of his videos. He talks about more of eating plant based, and he talks about what the food does to you. So if you know what you're eating and what it does to you, then you'll be more a little bit. Hey, ma, she said.
Hey, Max.
Hey, ma. So you will be a little bit more likely to be mindful of what you're eating. So I was in the line. Was it yesterday? I was in the grocery line, and I just kicked for kicks, which I've scanned before. Like you had those tasty Cinnabons or what have you, or cinnamon rolls or something, and that thing was 28 points. So that'll clear it up real quick, or that'll clear it up real quick. Because I mean, the reality is that when you eat that stuff, then you wind up hungry anyway. Now, I'm not saying, or if you're going to eat it, you maybe split it up with somebody or something. Of course, that's a lot of point. If you're a lady, depending on your points that you have.
Yeah, because I get 26. I only get 26 points.
Yeah, so you can only eat a eighth of that. That's just enough to taste it, and then it might make you mad because you're just eating that a little bit. So you realize it's not really worth it. So we went a couple of months ago. We had that Whataburger that's come in our area. That's kind of a big deal, and I'm just like, I'm not. Where everything was 20 some points, 25, 28, 40 some points. I'm like, this is crazy. So you want to eat stuff that you're not bored, but you want to be eating decent stuff. So maybe instead of eating like I eat eggs, on a regular basis, a boiled egg or something, then I may flip it up and eat an apple or an orange or something, so that it can, you're eating something that's more healthy, that's not going to take you off your journey, your mission, or what you're doing, and you don't feel bad after you've done it.
So, what are some tips that you guys have that help you to keep from getting bored? Do you have any tips that you can share that would help us maybe, or even anyone else that's listening in the audience to avoid getting bored? Like something you do to mix up a meal, maybe. I know with the eggs, to Jeffrey's point, I love when we add vegetables, like either onions, like an omelet almost, instead of eating just a plain old scrambled egg. We might add some veggies to it. I know Lynette has a lot of little options that she does. Maxine, my mother-in-law, shout out, turned us onto the popcorn. So I use that now in the evening
Mm-hmm.
sometimes for my snack. I'm still trying to get something to put on the popcorn. Watch my popcorn video if you have not yet. I bought this little popcorn thingy you put in the microwave. We had it at Max's house and it was really good. And that's 0 points for the popcorn, but I'm still having a hard time with the salt on the popcorn. So I'm trying to, because sometimes I like something like a snack, but I'm actually getting away from it. Jeffrey had been watching this program about foods that are not allowed in other countries, and one of them happened to be my favorite, baked Cheetos, or just Cheetos in general, not baked. And I did read the baked Cheetos, and it had the same chemical that it had in the regular Cheetos, which is the orange and yellow dye number 6. And I also have a slight allergy anyway to red dye number. I think the red dye number. What is the red dye number? Let me look. I think
Mountain
it's
Goat number
5.
5. This was something like
Yeah, red
uh,
dye number.
5 or 8 or something like that. Or
Yes,
6
I
or
actually
something.
have a red dye is number 40, number 40. And a lot of kids have a red dye allergy. So it's like sometimes fruit punch and stuff like that, they'll have an allergy. So I also have that. So, so I stopped eating my baked Cheetos, 2 weeks now?
Oh, it's been about almost 3
It
now.
might be 3, right?
Yeah, I found that just for you to know, because just not some random stuff. I on Microsoft, I use the Microsoft Edge browser. I use Chrome, but I use that Microsoft Edge,
Mm-hmm.
and they have an option where you can pick different type of topics of articles that you like, maybe something with cars or something with health. So you click all these different subjects, and there are all these different random articles that it'll say something like 10 foods that are banned in the United States, and you're looking through it and you're scanning through like, oh my goodness, you have like Pop Tarts, Cheetos, and they're explaining the reason why that they banned them. So or just maybe not necessarily banned, why other cultures may not eat the food that we eat here. So it's just a little interesting
Oh no,
article.
they're banned. They're
Yeah,
banned.
but they are banned. They are banned because
Probably thing of things in some
yeah,
countries. Matter of
yeah,
fact, we were
somewhere.
watching what's that show we like?
What's
Food
the
That
health?
Built
Oh,
America.
food. Yeah,
Food That
food that.
Built America.
Mhm.
Coca-Cola is not sold in South Korea and Cuba.
Right.
Now that's probably because of
It's,
sanctions.
it's 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 a government thing.
Yeah, it's a government thing. However, they still have like some of the countries, like Mexico has the Coca-Cola with real sugar instead of the fake sugar. So you know
And you
what I
can tell the
mean?
difference. You can tell the
Yeah.
difference too when you drink it.
Yeah, so everything we eat here is not even allowed in other countries. That still ceases to amaze me. I'm just like, really? But we can have it over here all day long, and over there in other countries is banned. So anyway, I
Well,
don't
that
eat the Cheetos anymore.
yeah, that Dr. Price, he has a phrase. He has it the same, that anything that you eat in a box that comes out of a box will put you in a box.
Mm-hmm.
That's this thing. So and we watched something not that long ago. I don't know what it was, Kim. We just saw this lady. She was from, I don't know. She was from another country like Nigeria or
Oh,
something.
that was on the Portia show with the baby food.
Oh yeah, that's right. The baby, and she was surprised when she went to the store, and she just went all the rows
The
of just
peas, the
boxes and
baby food
boxes
for
of baby food.
kids.
Yeah,
And the peas.
yeah, and she was looking at all these boxes that's on the shelf, and she's like, "Where is the food?" She's looking for something, because the way they eat, they go
From the
and get it
ground.
from the market, they get it from the ground, and they eat it, and then they go the next day and do the same thing over again, or it doesn't sit. But most of the stuff that we eat, they have to. As a matter of fact, they even said it in the food that the food. What was it? What the program we just said? Foods that.
Built America.
Built America, they talk about how they try to put stuff in there with the preservatives for it to last. So that, so they had to obviously they're talking about, I shouldn't say obviously, they're talking about how, like, say, Coca-Cola, or the other day Dr. Pepper, how they come about. And then a lot of the foods were created that we have now, let's say from the 1800s or the early 1900s, before they could have a lot of preservatives. So if they made it, they had to figure out how did they get it from point A here, let's say in Michigan, to Georgia without spoiling by the time it got there, because of the time it took for get thing from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. So a lot of foods that we have that we eat today has a lot of preservatives that we don't realize, and it's in our body, and then we wind up getting stuff, getting sick.
Sometimes if you feel like you're achy, your joints are hurting, go back to what you're eating and drinking. Acne sometimes. Go back to what you're eating and drinking, and read the labels. My sister has been reading labels now. She's completely shocked at what she's been learning from reading labels. I did a whole video on that too, so check it out. But yeah, read those labels. So let's get back to the topic, and welcome to those of you who are joining us. Tonight we're talking about why do we sabotage our diets, and what's some things that can cause us to sabotage. If you want to, feel free to join the comments regarding the topic. Please feel free. So far we've talked about not having proper expectations or unrealistic, being bored. This next one is another good one. Why we end up sabotaging is stress. Just straight up stress. You're stressed out. When you're stressed, you're less likely to pick the right type of food, and I know that's so true for me. I had an upsetting situation last week, and we had to make a decision about something. And I was so stressed out, guys, that we had went to a pizza place. I ate just a little piece of it, but we brought the rest of it home. And you can have pizza on Weight Watchers, so that wasn't a big deal. But this is what the big deal was. When I got home that night, because we couldn't make a decision, and I knew the decision was just really something really huge in our life, I ate the piece of pizza, okay, at night. I never do that. It was after 9, and I know I get heartburn and all that. I ate this pizza. Not only did I eat the pizza, but I also ate a snack because I was stressed. I was stressed out. And I told my sister, it's so funny. I called her and I said, girl, I just ate this pizza. I should have called her before I ate the pizza. But I do that with my Weight Watchers points. I look at it after I eat something and then I scan it. But I called her and I was like, girl, I'm so stressed out. And anyway, it wasn't pretty. I didn't feel well that evening after I ate it because I went to bed with all that on my chest. And, again, I was stressed out, and I knew I was stressed. I was almost feeling like a panic attack. Not where I was getting ready to shake or do anything like that, but I just felt so worked up, and Jeffrey saw it in my face. So, after talking to my sister, I felt a calm too. We prayed, and then Jeffrey made a decision. He was like, look, if it's doing all that to you, we're not going to do it. And I really respected him for that, really standing up, and because I didn't know what he wanted to do. I asked him, of course, regarding this particular situation, but I felt so good that he was like, you know what, if it's doing that to you, we're not going to do it. And I just didn't know what to do. I know what he probably wanted to do. What we ended up doing was something different. So stress. And I see Fun Kids is saying, yes, with stress, she turns to chocolate. And that's my other thing. So I don't keep it in the house. If I want something, because I almost asked him that night, I said, I would love to have some chocolate. And he was going to go to the store, and I'm like, nah, that's okay. I didn't want him to do that because, one, crime and stuff, but two, I didn't want to go that far off. So, and then I would have been up all night. That would have led to something else too. So I am a stressful eater. I do know that about myself. It doesn't take much for me to go off the deep end. So what's your thoughts on stressful eating, Jeffrey? Do you find that you do stressful eating? And if for you in the comments, what causes some stresses for you? If you don't mind sharing, what causes, not to get all in your business, but if you don't mind, like, what are some things that causes stress for you? I know I'll give you one more for me, and then we'll get Jeffrey. We've been doing our taxes this year. Again, caused me a lot of anxiety. Last year caused me so much stress. I was almost crying on one of my lives for my business channel that I have. And I was, because, taxes ain't no joke. When you owe the government, hey, you do not want to play. And we owed them so much money last year. And I was just terrified. And it caused me, again, to have a lot of stress. Are there any stressors for you, Jeffrey? And what about the audience? Feel free to jump in.
Well, we have fun kids and fun things. He says, yes, she turns to chocolate and just life. Yeah. Just day to day life, dealing with whatever case might be,
Mm-hmm.
family, health, something with the car, things like that. So for me, I wouldn't, I get a little stressed, but I won't go that off the deep end. At least I try not to. I don't think so. Now, it's been a few occasions where we're coming home and say, look, I want to give me a cheeseburger from McDonald's or something. But now, um, I, I think after kind of realizing what I'm eating, I'm a little bit more. I'll say this: if you want to talk about reverse stress, in the sense, I don't know if that. Let me explain what I mean. Normally, for every Super Bowl, I go get me a Jersey Mike's. I go get me the Italian. I get me the sub. I get all the stuff on there, and I get me some chips, and I'm ready to go. But because I know so much with the processed meats, and I mean, it's like three meats on there. It's salami, prosciutto, and I forgot what the others on there. And then I look it up in Weight Watchers, and I see the sodium level is like 1,800 sodium. I'm like, oh my goodness, and I'm like, so I didn't do it this year. So I it was kind of in the reverse because I was stressed because I wanted to go get it, but then I, I it was 60% not to get it, 40 to get it. And once I realized, okay, I don't need that, I was okay. So we made like some nachos with turkey meat and stuff like that, and that was good. But that
It
really messed
actually
up
turned
my.
out to be a fun evening. We
Yeah,
even
it's really be.
split a piece of cake.
Yeah, so so I took it from that standpoint. I said, well, I was so like I said, we split the cake, but I was like, man, this is really not how I normally do this. So I had to I came to grips with it and moved on with my life. So but for the most
Do
part, I
you
try not
mind?
to let. Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna ask. Do you mind sharing what happened the first time you went to the Mexican restaurant? Well, you know what? Let's share that after the next one because the next one is after we go over the next point. I'll let you. So finish your thought if I haven't messed it up, and
No,
then
that was it. That was it. We can go to the next point. Yeah.
okay. So and Fun Kid says exactly family and money, and I'm telling you, y'all, that tax thing, which was dealing with the money, it caused me so much stress and anxiety. So let's go to number 4. We had 5 points, so we'll hit the next one for you. Peer pressure is also another reason people sabotage their diets. When you're out in social events, you're tempted to give in and eat unhealthy foods. That's another one that will take me right over the edge is peer pressure. Because if I see everybody else eating something, I want it too. Sometimes I can say I'll just make a different choice. I might not want what they're getting, but if there are times when I'm out with people and I'm like, dog, I sure wouldn't mind having that, and I'll just order it like I'm don't have no weight problem, that I ain't on no plan and get what I want. So I do have that issue. But to that point, I wanted you, if you didn't mind sharing what happened when you went to the Mexican restaurant, because
Yeah.
it kind of goes to peer pressure, which they wasn't pressuring you. No one
No.
was pressuring you, but I'm sure you felt some stress and a little pressure. So what happened the first time you
Well,
went?
actually, it's going to go to the next point too. It's the point 4 is about peer pressure, and then 5 lack of preparation. But we'll get to that in a second. So this is a Mexican restaurant that we go to. We've been going to for like 20 years, and most of the people, I think they must be family because they're pretty much the same people that's been working there forever. And when we first moved in the area, when we moved here to Georgia in '97, we went over there for like 10 years, and then we moved to the other side of town. And we hadn't come back. We didn't drive back from the other side of town to come over to the restaurant. So then 5, 6 years pass, and we come back on this side of town again, where we live at. And we said, let's go back over there and see if they're still there. Well, how's it going? We go in there, and so this was, 12 years ago. So anyway, we've been going there for almost 20 years. So they know when I come in there, they know what I normally get. I get give me a margarita, and they got the best ones, I could say. We've been to other places out of state. We'll go to a Mexican restaurant, get a margarita, we taste it. Does it taste like this one called, the restaurant's called El Genente? And even we just went with some friends about 3 weeks ago that were from out of town in Florida, and they said that they stayed off the main street. The main street, the name of the street is Centerville Highway. Somehow they were over here. I forgot how they was over here, Kim. But they said we
Mhm.
went to this Mexican restaurant, had the best margaritas, and because we told them where we lived at, that's what we told the city we lived in Snellville. They said, "Oh, off of Centerville or 124." They said, "Yeah." He said, "We went to that Mexican restaurant. They got the best margaritas." So anyway, so we know that they're the best margaritas anyway. So I went in there. It was the 1st of December. I went in there, and I'm really on my journey, my mission journey. I'm changing my ways. I started in October, so I hadn't been in there, and so I come in there, and they said, "Hey, ¿qué quieres tomar? What do you want? And they know, they said, and they actually said, "Do you want something to strawberry with mango?" I said, "No, I don't want anything," and I just want just
Your
water.
usual. They offered you your
Because they said it
usual
was water. Yeah, it
margarita.
was water. I said, no, just agua, just water. They said, what? The first guy said, what? And I said, yeah, just water. And then another guy come past and that worked there, and he asked, because usually they'll ask, they know us. So if one person comes by, another person will come by, and they'll ask what you want. You know, I said, I just want water. He said, what? And then I said, oh man, they was carrying on something vicious. I said, I felt a little it was a little peer pressure, but I wasn't going to do it. But I knew why I wasn't doing it. I didn't want anything, but I kind of felt a little something because I was out of the norm. And so Kim asked when we got out, how did you feel about that? And I said, it's a little different because I always get a margarita. I always get one when I go in there. So, but I knew that I was staying away from alcohol, especially at that point. I was really on my, on my, I was on my regimen. I wasn't gonna uh, slip up, and I just wanted to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do. And then later on, as I get into it, meaning my weight loss and what I'm eating, then I might slip something in every now and then, but not on a regular basis. So to that point, peer pressure, people, if you're depending on who you're with, they can encourage you whether they mean to do it or not. They can say, girl, you don't need, you can go ahead and eat that, it'll be all right. But whether you probably know that you ate something earlier in the week that you probably, didn't need to eat, or you ate so much of it and you said, okay, for the rest of the week, I'm gonna stay on my regimen. I'm gonna stay on my diet, or however you want to call it. And then you get with someone else and you got to eat, and now you feel pressured to do it. And next thing you know, now you're feeling bad, because you ate something and more than what you wanted to that week. And then if your mind is not there, then you can go down that spiral. And then it depending on your circumstances, how you are made and how you deal with stress or peer pressure, it may take you might be able to snap right out of it. You might say, I'm not going to eat none of it. I don't care what y'all say. Or you might get a little something, or you might eat all of it, and now you're messed up for the next week or so. It depends on the circumstances. So, yeah, so that's what happened with me there.
What are some situations, if you guys want to share, that causes you to experience peer pressure? Maybe it's going out after work. Maybe it's the family barbecue. Maybe it's a wedding you got to coming up, and everybody gonna say something either way. Like Jeffrey said, "Girl, you can have that," or what are some things that causes you all peer pressure? Any situations you can think of, or any scenarios that you want to share? Let's see. Anything? And while we wait, we'll go to number 5. Let's go to number 5. So the last one we had is just plain lack of preparation can cause you to sabotage yourself, or your diet, not being prepared. What are you going to eat? Preparing ahead of time, thinking about your meals. What settings you're going to be in. For example, if you're going to a wedding, do you need to eat a little something before you go so you're not famished? The wedding starts at 6. Do I need to have a little snack? I haven't had lunch since 12. Am I going to wait till 6, or do I need to have an apple in between? And we've been pretty good at that. We keep apples around, and they come so big now that we're able to split them. So like today we had our smoothie. We had
I was
a
getting
little,
ready to say because they're chemically induced.
I know all the talk about chemicals, right? They injecting our apples.
You say because they come so big now when they didn't.
They do. So we are able to split the apple, and we did that today. Actually, we do it quite a bit if we're running behind and we know, hey, well, we're going to eat dinner, in about an hour or so. Then we'll go ahead and we'll split an apple, just something to and apples really do hold your appetite. So that's our go-to to make sure we have around here. We split apples and stuff like that. We'll take it with us as we're running out the house, and we did that today. Fun Kid says, out with someone who wants to try what they have along with what I have, and I do because I'm a people pleaser. Yeah, that's true. People will say, "Girl, taste this," and you're like, "Oh no, thank you." And I'm that person that will insist. Though I'm like, "You got to taste this." So I am that person, Fun Kid. So I do understand that.
Oh,
So
you
that
hear
is
that?
a peer pressure. What you say, Joe?
So I said, so she Kim can be pressured, and then she is the pressurer. Is that what you said? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I take. Yeah,
Oh
well,
no, she's just
yeah. So
like
you can
me.
you could be two people in one. So I can fall to peer pressure, and I also could be the person that's causing the peer pressure. That's true.
But to Kim's point, Kim is to the point of lack of preparation. Kim is really good about it. We both do it. We'll be out, and if we're going to run around for the course of the day, we got a lot of activities. We'll try to figure out what we're going to eat before we leave, or if we're out, what are we going to eat? We say, okay, well, we ate this yesterday. If we're going to eat at a restaurant, and so today we went to that Mexican restaurant, and I got me like the nice soup, like a chicken soup, because it's full of chicken and rice and avocado. So I just had that. We had a little bit of little nacho chips. And we have also other times where we've gone, we've just got like the chicken fajita, but it was just made with, they had nice chopped chicken and veggies. So that's pretty much a zero. Eating vegetables and chicken, and I may eat a scoopful of the rice to make the fajitas, and I may not eat even the tortillas that they give you, the flour tortillas. I may not even eat that, because that's like a 2 or a 3 depending on the size of it or whatever. So I can go in there and be full of chicken, protein, and I'm doing pretty good. We could do that. So, but today I just had the soup, and so that's how and so we split today a margarita, and it was a medium. We split.
I didn't have half of it.
Well, she had already, huh?
I didn't have half. I had a little bit.
What? See, you wasn't any. See,
but I did go to Bahama Breeze the other day, y'all. So
yeah. Oh, that's what it was. Oh, that's the reason why you went to Bahama Breeze the other day. See, she's trying to set me out. She's trying to set
I've
me
been
out.
walking my butt off. So I'm hoping to
yeah.
see some results tomorrow. I'm telling y'all, we told y'all we changed our weigh-in day to Tuesday, so we probably should have did the live tomorrow. But I've been working my butt off. I've been exercising at least 30 minutes every day. I never did my kale video. I'm gonna go live about that. We're gonna do that maybe this week. I'm gonna go live.
What happened to you?
Yeah, what happened to me with the kale? I had another incident with the kale, y'all. I told y'all months ago, but I had another one. It was
that's a whole other video.
Yeah, we'll go into we're gonna plan that so I can talk about it live with y'all. But anyway, yeah, so I've been walking like 1.67 miles, almost 2, 40 minutes, and speed of like a 3. I've been getting it. Lynette had a comment, says, when people insist I eat something I know I don't need and would not if not pressured. Yeah, I understand that. And in your case, right now, because you're eating a little bit differently, I know what your plan is right now. That can really be extreme when you're trying to avoid a certain food group, like you're vegan right now, or I'm not eating meat, or I'm not eating bread, pastas, and that's what everybody cooking. I know Jeff and I have been talking about trying to reduce our carb intake so we can both work on our stomachs.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to work on the carb.
And it's just a matter of, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just was thinking, certain restaurants, you just know the makeup that what their types of food that they have. The chances of you finding something will be, kind of hard. I mean, if you go into a place that does nothing but pancakes and waffles, and you go in there and you say, I want a piece of fish, I mean, you're going to stand up like a sword. I mean, you might feel even then you might feel, I don't know if that makes sense. Then they may have, a baked fish or what have you. You can do it, but I don't know if I'm making sense.
Well, even today when we were trying to figure out what to eat, it was challenging. Even today, we were like, I wanted some vegetables and just some chicken, and we kept saying, well, there's nothing around here even of like just vegetables and chicken, like green beans and spinach or whatever, mashed potato and a basic baked chicken. So we ended up at the Mexican restaurant, and I had fish tacos. I didn't get them grilled. I should have, but I got them
Mm.
fried. But that little deep fry they put on that little fish can't be that much. But I had fish tacos. It came in order of 3. I ate 2, and I have one downstairs with some rice left. So we couldn't find anything that was just like he was saying earlier, you know. So even that's a pressure on us, especially when you're trying to eat right. Now, Chick-fil-A is always a go-to. We didn't think about that earlier today because
Oh, well, no,
but we
other than what
wanted
we do
something
is,
hot. We wanted something
yeah.
hot.
Oh, sometimes we'll do Chipotle. We get that chicken bowl with all that with the
Yeah,
with the rice
Chipotle
and
is
stuff like
another
that.
option. So we need to do a video about that too one day about our favorite go-tos while we're doing our journey. I do have that on my list of videos to do my top 5 restaurants or whatever. So we'll be bringing you a whole lot more content. We do appreciate you all hanging out with us. We didn't want to keep you too long, but we definitely wanted to cover that topic because it was on our minds. So we do always like to leave you with something positive. Don't give up. The things we talked about tonight can be a sabotage for us. We want to encourage you to just kind of find the root cause of whatever's causing you to have a setback or whatever, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna keep trying. Every day we wake up is a new opportunity. Every plate that we eat is a new opportunity. So what? You messed up at breakfast. So what? Lunch is coming. Plan differently. You messed up at lunch. No biggie. Lunch dinner is coming. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
just keep on trucking, guys. We're gonna do this thing day by day. If you're on a journey or a mission, because I know we had that conversation a few weeks ago. Is there any final thoughts that you all would like to leave? Any positivity for your fellow community here? Lynette Max is saying hi. Lynette Lynette is saying hi. So well, until next time, guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. If we don't have anything else, we'll give you just a second. We know you're typing. And Jeffrey, did you have any concluding comments you wanted to add?
No, I was just getting ready to say I was what was that who was that song I think in ways of terms of music and movies, and there's a song by the Impressions, Keep On Pushing. So it
Can you
says
sing a little bit for us?
I'm not going to sing it just now because I can't do that falsetto right there. So it says keep on pushing. I've got to keep on pushing. I can't stop now. Move up a little higher, some way, somehow. So I guess that's the
Oh wow! You just
yeah.
remembered all that, or you Googled
No,
that?
I googled it. I didn't remember all that,
I was
but
getting ready to
hey,
say, "Nah,
I
come
didn't remember all that. I
on,
remember
come
that.
on,
Yeah,
come
but
on."
them old songs from the '70s, they be talking about something. They give you something to really think about. So,
That was
um,
deep though. Lynette Max says hello to you too. Get it, Jeffrey. I was going to say, I know you ain't remember all that now.
no,
Well, guys, on behalf of Healthy Life with Kimmy and Jeffrey, we are going to say good night. We wish you much continued success on your journey, and we definitely will be back with more conversations. Okay. Until next time, guys. Bye.
bye now. See ya.